This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
You are listening to Lucha Afterground.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lucha Afterground, the premier Lucha Underground after show. My name is Max. With me, as always, is
Travis.
Yo. I mean, should we just start talking about Melissa Santos, or...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, pretty...
Good Lord. We had expectations.
It might be my series highlight.
It's up there. It is definitely up there. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
News and notes?
I got nothing.
Not me neither.
I got nothing. Other than rest in peace, Bobby Heenan. Thinking he'd be amazing in Lucha Underground back in his heyday. He would fit right in.
In Lucha City Nights.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
He hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
Sure. Still no announcement of season 4. Hasn't been filmed.
I know, like, there's always somebody's like, hey, it's coming. It just seems to keep...
I'm sure people want it. I'm sure the people who make Lucha Underground want it to happen, but...
should be interesting.
Yeah.
If it does come back, what is it going to look like?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you got to think they're, like, archiving the set and doing all sorts of stuff.
I just mean
like,
in terms of cast, roster.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea who's in AAA right now. Taya, is she still there? I think she is still kind of there.
They put the belt on her, or maybe
Pretty
they
fast.
will put it back on her if she's into it, unless she's completely cut ties and wants nothing to do with them anymore.
Pretty crazy. Psycho Clown.
Do you think he'd be in Lucha?
I mean, who else are you going to put in there?
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
The whole Psycho Clown. There's like 6 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't made an appearance so far.
Yeah, that might make sense.
He's probably hard to translate, though, into a more American audience.
Now that it's huge, right? It could be a big opening there.
Good point. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. We've got 4 more episodes. We got this episode, then Ultima Lucha Trace, and then I guess that's the end of the series. I guess it's the end of us for good.
End of our friendship.
That's right.
We swore. Yeah, as you guys might know, Max and I had a huge falling out.
Can we say I'm super distracted today because I got into a huge fight at work.
Yeah,
and I was like watching the episode and just like going back, and you know when you get into those arguments, you just replay every word, and you're like, oh, if only I had this turn of phrase, I really would have nailed you, Julie.
If only you could have walked into the room wearing Melissa Santos'
Oh my God,
open it up.
Can't argue with that. That should be her catchphrase.
Yes.
Can't argue with this. Yep. Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for news and notes, I guess.
It's an extensive one.
I know. All right. Well, let's get to the episode, I guess.
Importantly, violence!
Lucha Underground, Season 3, Episode 36. With our recap, it's all just setting us up for the Gift of the Gods. We've seen everybody who's won. They remind us of the famous Bien Tejano storyline. And, of course, Marty and Melissa in this upcoming match.
What an episode.
What an opening segment.
Oh, my God.
With Fenix training with Melissa. She ends up kind of gets him to help to tap out. And then they kind of go back and forth. And she finishes, and I got this underline, on top.
It was, I mean, I'm just glad my wife wasn't home.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Yeah.
She asks him to take the mask off.
I loved this. This such a great scene.
Yeah. Man, this is up there. This is
man.
We have those
the end of awards.
Late entry here.
I know. It is a tremendous scene.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
There was some weird sound effects.
Yes. Okay, we'll get to it.
It was so good.
Yes.
It was Emmy worthy.
Yeah.
There were some weird sound effects.
I love the sound effects. That's part of what made it great. She asks him to take his mask off, and it's like, no, my mask is everything to me in Spanish, right? And as he says this and is talking about how long it's like his origin story, basically.
Yeah.
Says you kind of hear like a in the background, like this Phoenix.
I
sound
loved
effect.
that.
It was so great.
Yeah, that was. I mean, not that sound effect. That sound effect was
Yes.
fantastic.
Okay.
But like in the actual training, sometimes she'd grab his hand and like break
Like a
it.
crack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That
like-
was an interesting choice.
I don't know about that.
I see what you're talking about.
But I love the Phoenix sound effect.
Yeah.
And like this whole scene was so good. It was so real. It's the exact type of thing that you'd think that if you're going to have a romantic encounter between somebody and somebody in a mask, take off the mask.
Yes.
I can't take off the mask.
Yes.
So it's so perfect.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I can't believe it's taken us this long to see a scene like this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, you just didn't have the chops of Melissa Santos, and I say that with zero irony because she was awesome tonight. Like
and she's always been
finish.
great. Always
start
been
to
great.
finish. He says, "So yeah, I don't want to lose myself," and she says, "You won't lose me." We get this tender moment, and then she kind of flips him around and gives him this big smooch.
That was great.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Is it the only real romance we have in the entire?
As in, like legit.
Yeah, we've had
Well,
some
remember we had-
dysfunctional
yeah.
romances.
How was Son of Havoc and Evil East at the beginning? Where they were like a legit couple, but it did fall apart.
Yes,
But
did.
But that was kind of like they started.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
closest thing I can think of at the top of my head.
Cobra Moon
With
And Daga?
Daga, I guess that was more just like kind of a
Obsession.
yes, the predator and the prey.
And she murdered him.
Yes, or something.
Or something.
Somebody tore him apart.
I want to see that footage of Dago with a sword, man.
Maybe
if they release
that's gonna be the very last image of this season. That's gonna be the teaser.
Can you imagine? He just pulls out a sword. What?
What?
Oh well.
Anyways, yeah. Wow. And like we're thinking last week, what is she gonna look like? What is her outfit gonna look like? Already training outfit. We're just ooh, here we go.
I was so hypnotized by that scene that I had forgotten that she was even going to wrestle later on. So I had a legit pop when I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. And then I forgot that she was going to have sick ring gear. Anyways, we'll get to it.
Anywho,
Pretty friggin' sexy.
yeah,
that's all I
really
have to
sexy.
say.
Really sexy. We enter the temple, and Slackback gets the 6th episode. A little bit more.
That makes some sense.
So yeah, they're going to finish off with. Oh, that was some news and notes. Voodoo Glow Skulls are coming. I sent you that. They are coming to play Vancouver shortly.
That's right.
We were talking about them possibly.
Is that a news and note about Lucha Underground? I noticed up at the university I work with, they have a Krav Maga club. So there's news and notes.
legit? That's funny.
I'll send you the picture. You can post it on Twitter.
That's funny. Yeah. So whoever it's going to be, you say Voodoo Glow Skulls?
I would assume so. It's we've had a lot of repeats from season 2. It seems like something.
Imagine something like totally off the board. Los Lobos.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What would you? What kind of music would you want? Like for something like this, if you're booking a show like this, you'd want something that's like party atmosphere, but also a little edgy. I'm thinking maybe
Maroon 5.
the Chimps.
Mine was pretty good. Yours is better.
No,
Yours is way better.
But legit question, I want to know.
Yeah.
book me a band.
I think I told Los Lobos would be out of control.
Yeah, Gypsy Kings.
Gypsy Kings. I was thinking that as well. Cafe Tacuba. Do you know that band? No. They're awesome. They're awesome. They do a cover of Anarchy in the UK, and it's awesome. Just with like that total kind of Latin kind of thing.
Oh.
Like that place would make the place go
Sweet.
Looney Tunes. That track.
Cool.
Yeah.
Richie Valens, back from the dead.
Maybe Lou Diamond Phillips as Richie Valens, as like old Richie Valens.
I mean,
if I had
Dark arts, my friend.
I love it. Okay,
so-
yeah. You can tell I was fading in and out of watching this episode in my mind because I'm just like grasping at straws.
Okay, so right away they're really selling the tag match, getting us excited for it, and they announce that. Oh wait, I wanted to. They run down the card later, but there was a good kind of tease of like, here's the beautiful, lovely, famous bee.
Yeah. I was wondering too, as they were like teasing who it was going to be. I'm like, who could it be? Who could it be? And then of course it's famous B, and it makes perfect sense because he's always grabbing the mic and all that.
Yeah.
It's like exactly who Dario would put in there.
Yep, second in command.
Yeah. Second in command.
The understudy, Melissa's understudy, is Famous B.
Okay.
He had a sling on. He's ring announcing. The first match, Dante Fox versus Tejano. Now, at this point, I'm like, well, it looks like they're going to finish up this story with Tejano and Famous B at least. You know what I mean? We will have some. We should have some loose ends by the end of this.
Yeah, as soon as we see Famous B and the cowboy stuff, you know it's not over.
Yeah. I see Brenda's timekeeping, and I noted that she's still in high spirits despite
a broken arm.
I thought this was good. Nice little choreographed sequence earlier, finishing with that Dante Fox backflip off of the apron.
Oh yeah,
early on,
so nice,
really cool.
Dante Fox.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for his match against Killshot. Mm-hmm. It's going to be so good.
Remember, we make our top 5 for the season. Dante Fox has got to be right up there.
Oh, well, without question. And then, because their match before was like a weapons match, wasn't it?
Who, Killshot and Dante Fox? No, you're thinking of Killshot and Marty. Yeah.
Have they had a singles match?
I think so. Yeah.
But Killshot won?
Maybe, they might have had a couple. I think it could have been.
But this is going to be best 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good.
These guys are really talented. Can't wait.
But yeah, this match I thought had a nice mix of style with Tejano kind of being the tough brute and Dante being the fast guy. Tejano with really nice. I thought his offense. I've told you he has a blue collar, but he had some really interesting offense today.
I think he needs to be. The weight. I'm not really a stickler for weight classes, especially in something like this. But I wonder how he would do against a thicker, heavy set, more of a bit. I don't know. I don't know.
Like a Rhino type.
Yeah, not Rhino.
No? Like a Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh well, anybody can dance with Tomohiro.
Yeah, but is that like the guy? I'm just talking about your.
Yeah,
your
totally. I'm trying not to play to type because I know I always bring up New Japan, but yeah. Somebody like a Kojima, he just something where they can focus less on the moves and more on just like the storytelling and in-ring psychology. Get me in that frame of mind, and maybe I could be a little more open-minded towards Tejano.
I mean, I get it. Like, he's not super flashy, and they even call him like blue collar. But like I said, I thought he had some really interesting offense.
No rope. Why you stopped using the rope?
The rope was there.
I know.
He's not okay. I got you. That really awesome cutter off of the second rope, followed by the 450 from Dante Fox. I mentioned Killshot is watching from thing. I like how he was lit. So it's just like everybody in the arena, like you're supposed to be. Yeah. This guy is,
important or something. Yeah.
A really unique pin attempt by Dante Fox, and this is when Tejano hit that tiger backbreaker that looked really cool. Famous B announces that this is where it kind of went off the rails with the dusty finish here, but whatever, makes sense. Tejano, Famous B announcing that he thinks he wins, caused a distraction, and the roll up win for Dante Fox. Killshot looks on. Post match, Famous B is almost going to beat him up, and Dario Cueto says he needs his ring announcer. But he's like, Tejano's going to get his match somehow, some way.
So good.
And he adds the stipulation, which is that Tejano will become Famous B. Like, Famous B will be his agent if he loses.
It's weird. It's a little bit like, just trading bodies like that. Can you do that?
What do you mean?
Well, does that means it's that so then Dario has Tejano's contract somehow?
Sure.
And then somehow now it belongs to Famous B? I don't get
No. I think it's just like everybody else has got. Maybe Tejano, maybe we've never. Look, I already have an agent. Morty.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He works his ass off.
Yes.
He's been in this business for 35 years.
That's right.
So, look, you're flashy.
Yeah.
Brenda's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But I love Morty. I can't break Morty's heart.
Well, I guess you better beat me. Tejano.
God damn it, Dario.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be interesting. What do you think is going to happen in that? You got to think Famous B
has to win. I think he has to win. Yeah.
But
somehow.
how is he going to do it?
Somehow.
Some way. He has to do it.
Yeah.
The Famous B. Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I was thinking too recently that if this is the final, you know what's going to be really sad is if this is the end of Lucha Underground is if that's the end of Dario Cueto.
Oh my god!
You know, I would be. You know, I shit on WWE all the time on this podcast, but if you want Vince McMahon, if you want me to turn into Monday Night Raw and be enraptured,
yeah.
You hire that man,
yeah,
and you bring him in as Dario Cueto,
sure,
with the key, with the black thing, whatever. Have him just get him in there somehow.
Yeah, adjusting his nose every once in a while.
Oh my god,
I like it.
I would just be so into it.
It would be a good consolation prize if we had to say it.
Even if you bring him in just as a manager for a team in NXT, manager of a couple of luchadors.
Sure.
Oh, give me a break.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, money. Next, Dario Cueto's office. Son of Havoc adds his medal. Mm-hmm. Says he's going for the title if he wins, which is, you know, good confidence, pal.
Yeah.
Pentagon Dark enters, got a bit of a stare down between the two, and he adds his medallion. He talks some shit and leaves. And Dario Cueto grabs the phone and smiles and says, "Hey, Guillaume, we're going to need some more medics."
Mm-hmm. Did you notice that when Pentagon was talking, they didn't have subtitles?
Not for when he said the Cierro Miedo thing, because at this point we all know. We all know. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly subtitles. So we've got coming up next this match. Do we need to take a break? Do we need to cool off?
Cool off. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. Seems like as good a time as any.
Sure.
All right, so let's take a break and hear from our friends at Place to Be Nation. Place to Be Nation.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, pro wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you are all subscribed to all the great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. It's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, which of course includes the full archives of the Kevin Kelly Show, the Place to Be Nation pod feed, and the Pro Wrestling Only feed. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And be sure to give Justin your true thoughts. I mean, don't hold back. After all, he is kind of a jerk. Just listen to Scott.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com, and we offer those to you on 3 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the original Place to Be podcast, as well as Main Event, Lucha Afterground, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction shows, as well as the Our Vantage Point podcast and Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver quick-hit pod blasts on topics old and new.
Over on the Pro Wrestling Only feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Psychology is Dead, Puro Potpourri, Stacy and Elliot's Bogus Journey, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Letters from Center Stage, Space City, and NWA Classics on Demand Adventure, Through the Years, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, and much more. And on our popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, PTBN Dadcast, Go Home in a Box, NBA Team, and Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, Geek and Sassy, and Imaginary Stories podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to all of our feeds on iTunes, and while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows, plus others, available on PlaceToBeNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlaceToBeNation.com/Amazon when shopping online, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Just before we begin the cop show, I just realized for the first time that Place to Be Nation is on Tumblr.
Ah.
All right, Trav, we've only got 5 of these left.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
This one is, this one kind of came to me on the way here. Kind of got a little off the board. Doink the Clown.
No. How?
Well,
how?
Like they just heard whatever. Like they hear it and it's just like a no big deal. Like, oh, that's awesome. Doink the Clown is hilarious. Like they don't even think twice about it. Like, look, they live in a lucha world. They live in Lucha City Nights, where
okay,
everybody, like it's not it's not outside of the box for this to happen.
Okay.
So they're like, this is going to be awesome. We're going to have a clown as our chief, man. Every day is going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
And he rolls in. He's in like full gear, but with like cop uniform. And he's just like super serious. Just like does not take any
He's the most serious, most dedicated police chief they've ever had.
And so for like the whole thing, they're just trying to like set up like pranks and stuff and get him to like kind of hoping like finally it'll happen.
He just straight laced the whole time.
Yeah. Until finally they push him too far and he just goes, fine, you want me to be a clown? And either I don't know, like he has a nervous breakdown and has to be taken away, or he causes some sort of accident when he's. I
think that's great. Inspired choice.
Genius.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. I love it. Just as an alternate, because now it's gold. Maybe they think it's going to be Doink the Clown. They're all psyched. They're all pumped up, and then it shows up and it's Psycho Clown. And they're like, oh shit. Anyways. Or that's at the end. When at the end, as a teaser, it's like, oh yeah, okay, Doink the Clown. He had a nervous breakdown and left, and it's like, oh, I wonder who the new
clown on the way.
That's right.
Just kind of rolls in. That's
freaky mask. Yeah. That's fun.
Awesome.
So we've only got 4 more of those. I think at the final one, can we like? Is there something special we can do with Lucha City Nights?
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 more episodes.
Well, I guess we could write the pilot episode and do a table read.
Well, geez, I don't know if I have that kind of time.
No, nor does our huge audience. They've been quite patient, but that could be going a little off the rails. Mm-hmm. We can think of something.
Well, maybe if it's good, if it's great, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like the Lucha Underground legacy. They could be like,
now you're getting a little. Now you might be getting a little ahead of yourself.
All right.
Where were we talking about? Oh yes, of course.
Next match, Mariposa, Marty the Moth versus Fenix, and in her in-ring debut of Ring Announcer Rises. It's the name of this episode. Melissa Santos. Okay, so Fenix comes in and she's like kind of decked out. Who does she?
We could do the rest of this just like frame by frame.
Yes.
Get to that, then be like, in this frame,
you can kind of see some side boobs.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, she reminds me of like the way she looked at the beginning is that girl from the Teen Titans, who's always kind of
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Raven,
maybe. Maybe, but like all kind of covered up in the hood kind of thing.
Oh, I was so pumped when I saw that. It's so mysterious.
Yes.
It's like, oh my god, what's going to happen when she takes it off?
Exactly. And she gets to the top of the stairs and pops it open, and oh my god,
she was super. My favorite part of this whole episode was just the shot of her walking in front of Fenix, when she first turns the corner and starts walking down.
Yeah.
And she's got the robe on. She seems so jacked and so pumped. And positivity. She's so pretty. Ah, God.
I have it written down.
Just
here.
like punched. Yes. I feel like I was being punched in the heart.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
Insane. And good God, this crowd is hot for this. This is awesome.
Well, because they probably didn't even know what was happening, right? Because they don't have any bearing on what's up or what's down.
Oh my God! Wow, the ripest tomato in town just walked in the door.
Terrible.
Good God, is that terrible? No,
I think so.
It's just the way you say it. She's gorgeous. Isn't she gorgeous?
Isn't she gorgeous?
So there it is, and she's just on the outside, and I'm just she is on top of just being outside. She is so cute. She is so little and so cute. Fenix and Mariposa. So this match starts with a tough slap exchange. Vamp, I like Mariposa early on here, and Vampiro compares her to the Great Muda in the way that she's kind of coming with those like quick things. I thought that was.
I was thinking that if I was Mariposa, and this was the match, and all the attention was going to be on Melissa, the ring announcer, I'm going to be pretty. I'm going to come in here with something to prove, that I'm the trained wrestler here.
I like it.
I did get the sense. I mean, there was some ferocity.
Yeah.
And I think that might have had something to do with it. Man, she took a lot of kicks. So what a strange way to begin. To have Fenix, who comes in as just like pure white babyface, must protect the damsel and all this sort of stuff, and then he just kicks this woman in the head.
I was getting to that part comes up right here where he kind of he teases the no kick and then kicks,
just cracks her across the head. And she takes like 2 or 3 of these. Yeah. It was such a strange. I don't understand why they would have started with him and Mariposa instead of him and Marty, because it's just such a weird. At least before, because she doesn't do anything particularly dastardly. She gives him a pretty hard slap, and then he slaps her right back. Is that enough for me to be on board with the?
I guess we're just supposed to keep in mind all the other terrible things she's done and yada yada yada.
I'd say what she didn't do.
What's it?
Drop spiders and
we know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Moths and spiders have nothing like anyone who would make that leap. I won't finish that sentence, but it's just come on. Marty enters. Nice. Camera. Was this on the? No, combination on the outside from Fenix when it ends up with him hitting his handspring cutter. Remember, it was just on the outside. Man, I don't know. There's a lot going on.
I was fading in.
Yep. This is where I thought
I was enraptured. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, nice camera angle on the Fenix kind of tope flip off of the middle rope. Do you remember this? Fenix. It was a Fenix show to start this off. Like it was like he did it with. He was kind of showing everything off with Melissa earlier, and then with or not Melissa, cheerleader Melissa, Mariposa, and then later with Marty, and then Melissa tries to tag him and tries to get the blind tag. Phoenix is like, no, you stay here. Yeah, that was good touch. And then right after that happens, Mariposa plants a smooch on Phoenix. Just kind of,
I love that too. Yeah. The announcers were talking about something and they didn't even pick up on it, but man, that was a great moment. Just like it's so smart, like. For the at home audience, a great moment for us.
Yeah,
for sure.
And yeah, so he's out, but then he starts to do his like kind of reach for the tag. He has no choice but to reach for Melissa's tag. But eventually she gets tagged in, and she had, like that initial kick was great. She did some nice work, all with like Phoenix's assistance.
Yep.
A bit of a pin botch. There, but that was okay.
It was covered over well by Stryker, I thought.
Yeah. And the fact that she tried again with Mariposa on top was good for the near fall. Mariposa stops Fenix when he's about to go off the top, and all of a sudden Marty's got Melissa, and the tone
changes.
Turns, big time. Fenix is tied up. And Marty's kind of chasing after Melissa, kind of grabbing his balls every once in a while.
I think that was. That treaded a fine line. Yeah. That was actually probably like a real stroke of genius to do that, because it's like on the one hand,
I don't know if that was a good choice of words.
Yeah. Okay. But it's like on the one hand you can be like, oh well, he was just selling, because that was after the moment when they send Mariposa's head into Marty's crotch.
Yes.
What a weird thing.
And that overhead camera shot too just made it like extra weird.
Super
so
weird.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Very uncomfortable to watch. Yes. Like, how am I supposed to feel about this? Am I supposed to be aroused? I don't get it.
I want incest porn to have a more mainstream appeal.
Yeah, God, it was like
from last week's 2 weeks ago, Rick and Morty.
Oh God. So that was weird. So anyway, so he has...
Melissa is screaming. And
too real.
Yeah, too real. But until eventually she's surrounded by Mary Poza and Marty the Moth, and they hit the double team. As we were watching this, Max was saying she hasn't taken a bump yet, but there it is. Boom, and it's a good way to, it looks safe, and but it also looks kind of like, oof, ouch, for the win. Intense post-match image. Marty grabs scissors and holding her, and again, just like her beauty, she is so pretty, and it's like these big bright blue eyes. It reminded me of that comics code from the Seduction of the Innocents. Like they always show that frame when it was. Remember before the comics code came out?
Yes,
and there was all those.
Horror comics, true crime.
That one shot of just a knife about to go into that woman's
eyeball.
Yeah. That's what that kind of reminded me of.
Ugh. I mean, I just assumed that he was going to cut her hair up.
No, I mean, for a second, I'm like, no, she's not. Honestly, she couldn't possibly
get her hair cut?
No. Blade or something.
Oh well, I was wondering because they had the lunchbox, and that's where the fork came out of. That was that gruesome moment with Fenix earlier.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's something that a really dedicated amateur could do, right? Especially in this kind of environment where it's not,
But she's a model. She's a fitness model. That's you're messing with.
You can't have Abdullah the Butcher blade marks on your forehead. Those don't go away.
They do not.
Oh, man. I saw an insane Hulk Hogan Abdullah the Butcher match out of Japan. It was so bloody.
Yeah. I think I have seen it.
Blurf.
Yeah,
man.
You ever seen Abdullah the Butcher Dick Murdoch on? That's one to look up in terms of bloody and just awesome.
No, okay.
It's a really good match. Yeah, so, wow. But Fenix luckily is freed just in time. Convenient, but whatever. No, great. And we so now Marty's got to get his head shaved.
Oh, can you imagine?
Just Fenix leaving, or Roy, whatever his name is, some gentleman who we've never seen before, just walking up, taking his mask off. Is what I'm saying. It's the last thing we see is Fenix getting unmasked.
Oh yeah, that would just be. I mean, it's the type of thing that if it was the last match of Ultima Lucha Trace, maybe this could happen.
Yeah, but
if it's just going to be the first or second episode on the first night, there's just there's no way.
I see main event second episode, and and the good guys should win.
Absolutely, absolutely. It will be what a strange, weird moment if he does get unmasked for Lucha Underground. Which will just ultimately be a small blip on Phoenix's career.
Yeah. So and again, there's no. Why would you do that?
Maybe if you get paid enough, I don't know.
Is he going to get the $250,000 that Dr. Wagner Jr. got?
I still can't believe that's all he got. Dr. Wagner Jr. He just never. Yeah. He was just here, and then he wasn't here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh. Anyways, hot feud. Hot feud.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah. It was great. So next we see the Gift of the Gods.
Is there more in this episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gift of the Gods under the lights. We are intoxicated. And at this point, before the match starts, they've run down the Ultima Lucha Trace card. So we learn here, Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Matanza in a cage. I guess, sure.
I can't remember how this happened.
I guess it's just his attachment to Ray, and Dario still has heat. Ivelisse versus Katrina is a go.
I mean,
what? Where does this show up, and what's it going to be like?
And I know.
What's it going to be
and
like?
Why?
Yeah. I guess they just wanted to show that they are loyal to Ivelisse and reward her for because she got clearly hurt pretty badly, and
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some shenanigans in that episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think in that match. I don't think Katrina can wrestle at all.
She's trained.
Is she?
Yes.
Has she had matches?
Yes.
Katrina has?
Yes.
Oh, right.
I've seen her wrestling Joey Ryan in some indie show.
Really?
Yeah.
And she came out of like a diva search, I think, or something like that too.
Yeah, maybe not. No, yeah, not tough enough, but
yeah, I think it was a diva search. Yeah, you're right. Anyways, while you're looking for that, and then of course Fenix versus Marty, the mask versus hair, Sexy Star versus Taya, the last luchadora standing, and again, I'm really hoping this steals the show. Killshot versus Dante Fox, best 2 out of 3. They call it the Hell of War, so it's like 3 different types of matches. They said.
Did they? I was confused by this.
Yeah,
I thought it was Last Man Standing, and they're like, that night we're gonna have all these crazy. We're gonna have 3 different matches, and each one are gonna have different weapons. But on this one's the best 2 out of 3 falls. Are you trying to tell me that they were doing it all for
the Hell of War?
Okay,
match. That would make sense, right?
I mean,
it is a 2 out of 3 falls, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And then, of course, the main event, Prince Puma versus Johnny Mundo for the championship. And Puma's career on the line.
Carly Perez. Oh, shit. Gotta be careful when you Google things.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna see some spoilers. She has been wrestling as far back as 2009. Her original ring name was the Candy Girl.
How often? How many career matches?
Career matches, 71.
Yeah,
71 career matches.
So, yeah.
Don't look her up, believers, or you'll find some stuff you don't want to see.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Also, no trios match. I noticed.
Well, not yet, but we did learn of 2 other matches by the end of this thing, so that makes 8 over 4 episodes. So I still think
there could be some
because now the trios champs are free, and so is the Rabbit Tribe. So I assume they'll follow.
Bro, check this out.
Yep, listening.
Son of Havoc versus Pentagon Jr.
Pentagon Dark. Yeah,
Pentagon Dark. He'll always be Junior to me. Pentagon Dark, and Pentagon wins. Then Marty and Puma and Johnny Mundo, they have their match. Mundo wins, but then Pentagon
catches
in a previous episode. I don't know. I thought there was a way to end this with Pentagon
as champion.
Yeah,
it is possible.
It seems like a better way to end the whole thing than having Mundo just retain. You know, and you can't have. I mean, Puma has to.
Yeah.
His story has to come to a close.
Yes. Has to come to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. There were some things I did not see coming, as we'll see at the end here, in terms of what they're setting up. Which leads us to the main event, unless you want to talk more about that card.
Nope.
Main event for the Gift of the Gods: Paul London versus Mala Suerte versus Saltador versus Cortez Castro versus Drago versus Son of Havoc versus Pentagon Dark. I like that Famous B, clearly not a fan of Pentagon Dark as he announces him.
Pentagon Dark.
Saltador with Pentagon Dark to start. This was chaotic. It was really tough to call. But I thought Saltador had really stood out and had some really nice offense in this.
Me too. He made more of an impression on me in this than Paul London.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Paul London still had that good crotch thrust timed with somebody's strike that happened later. Anyways, yeah, he had that really great Rana spot where he jumped off of the guy's back. Yeah, that was so cool. But everyone got their shine, and eventually it was chaotic. But Mala Suerte tries to end it early. Yeah, he tried to pin Pentagon Dark early. Got a 1 count. There's too much to keep up with. Some nice spots to the outside. Fun stuff with Pentagon and Paul London and Suerte between the 3 of them. But then, it just ends up with Son of Havoc hitting his finisher at the same time as Pentagon Dark had just done his finisher twice. So it leads to a simultaneous pin, which was fine. Usually when they have to do the simultaneous pin, it's really convoluted. This one wasn't so bad. He's just like, he loves beating the fuck out of people, so he wanted to give another tuck pile driver. So it's good. Dario Cueto comes out and makes it a ladder match.
Yeah, good stuff.
Between
your
the
Dario
two.
impression's getting much better.
Yeah, that one was pretty good, eh?
That was dead on.
Thank you.
That could double as a sound clip.
We're recording on rehearsal?
Yeah. Is this Trav or is this Dario?
all of you!
It's Dario. Anyways, go ahead.
This is what I'm saying. I did not see this coming at all. Now we got a ladder match at this Ultima Lucha Trace between these two.
I would like to see these 7 ways turn into eliminations.
I think so too. Has it? It's never been an elimination.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It would be nice because you can use the elimination in different ways, right? So that would be a great way. Let's just say there's a scenario where you're like, yeah, we're gonna elevate Mala Suerte here, or Saltador, right? Have Saltador do some amazing stuff halfway through, and suddenly he doesn't get pinned, and then he doesn't get pinned, and he doesn't get pinned, but other guys are dropping off, and then suddenly it's just him and Pentagon Jr. And it's like, oh my God, what? Like, he would get so over with the crowd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do with those elimination matches.
It's true. So yeah, this leads us to our last sequence. Dario Cueto bringing his gauntlet to the limousine and the FBI guy.
It's been a while since we were in the limousine.
Yeah. Says, it's like, and the guy's like, I thought you said Cage was going to be the perfect vessel. And he's like, well, could maybe give it to Jeremiah Crane or
Mil Muertes.
Could get the gauntlet. And they're like, so he sets up this, here we go, the 8th match, this three-way, like hoss fight, which is really good between Jeremiah Crane, Mil Muertes. Crane. Mil
Jeremiah
Muertes.
Crane.
And Cage. And the FBI guy says, what if Cage is victorious? And then Dario...
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear what he said here, because I did not...
said,
I couldn't understand what he was saying.
You're still thinking about 2 things. You were thinking about your work fight and Melissa Santos' outfit. Yeah, he said, I personally invite you to the temple to kill him yourself, my lord.
If Cage wins?
Yes.
To kill him?
Yeah. Or like it was kill or like destroy him yourself or something like that.
Oh, weird.
So now you know he is not time-traveling Cage.
Oh, I don't know if we know that. I don't know if we know that. I think it could still be time-traveling Cage, man. If anything, I think it's more likely now than ever.
And that'd be good if we just get one quick shot. But why would I? Oh, yes, of course.
Time traveling Cage, he can't
kill
himself. But here's what could happen: Cage. So Cage wins the 3-way.
Yeah,
gets the gauntlet. Then that guy tries to kill Cage, but Cage kills him.
Yeah.
Then the timeline, the loop is complete.
Watch, it's just like Andy Dick. Just trying to think of like some feeble, like kind of.
Oh man,
nobody. Hey, you don't deserve that, you know.
And Helico in a wig.
I'm just trying to think of like the least intimidating guy who's coming to. I'm going to kill you myself.
Oh man, I really hope it's time traveling Cage. And
it's not going to happen.
It has to be. It's such a good idea. And then and you know in comic books, in Marvel comic books, when something big was really going down, suddenly they'd look over and like the Watcher would just be there.
Yeah,
and you could have like suddenly Aerostar would just be like just sort of there watching from a distance.
Sure. I was just thinking I want to go back to like just like 6 different Aerostars showing up at once kind of thing, all from different eras.
Yes. Why not?
I know.
God, you could do so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Season 4. Now maybe that'll be like with like their lowered cast. There will be 6 different Aerostars.
That's really funny.
From the Middle Ages, and Aerostars from the Renaissance. You've got an Aerostar from I don't know, the Bay of Pigs, like Cuba, like that era.
All right, I like that guy. I want to see how he's dressed.
Yeah.
All right, well, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. So this leads us. Like, do we? I wish we knew. I would start to make some predictions. We already kind of have, but I wish. Like, I think there will be other matches. I think there will be at least one more match. I think that trios match will be there for sure.
Yeah.
And the Mac. Is he not going to be working?
Yeah, maybe they'll have a Rumble or something, like something like that.
Who else is missing? Who else was in that Gift of the Gods? Well, okay, you got Rabbit Tribe. Quartet. What's going to happen with the Cops? Joey Ryan?
Yeah, that's still going.
That's gotta finish
Vasquez.
somehow. I think it could just end up like I have a theory. It could just end up like the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail when all the cops just show up and like everyone gets arrested and taken off. Like that's like the end of the kind of thing. It just ends.
Isn't that
really
kind of what happened at the end of
unceremoniously.
season 1?
No, but I just mean something like that. Like it feels like it's building to something, and then all of a sudden everyone's arrested and just taken it off unceremoniously. As the credits roll, you just see, Fenix getting his fingerprints taken.
I love
mugshots.
I love it. Man, it feels like it's been 4 seasons because of the big break we had in the middle. I can't even tell. I think back sometimes. I'm like, was that season 3?
I know.
Season
We're going to have to go
2?
back and put things together here.
So next episode 37, Ultima Lucha Trace Part 1. Killshot versus Dante Fox. That's next week. That's going to be amazing. And Famous B competes. So we'll have those 2 matches and maybe
one more.
Who knows?
But if that's a best 2 out of 3 falls, that could be a good chunk of the...
Yeah, totally. Other than that, Trav, how can people find us on social media?
Find us on Twitter. Search for Lucha Afterground. You'll find us. Otherwise, go to placetobenation.com or look for Place to Be Nation Wrestling on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts.
That's it for this week. Only 4 more episodes left. We'll be here next week.
Will you join us?